Hi, this is Rachelle Scrapcraftastic, and I am back to work in our holiday planner, which is an altered composition notebook. It's the full-size composition notebook. The cover was done with a gift bag from Dollar Tree, and so was the back cover. This is the back inside cover where I did an envelope with a banker's closure using baker's twine in green. And let's see if I can untwist this. And this is it's a deconstructed envelope. I learned about deconstructed things recently. So it's a deconstructed envelope, which just means it's not closed up like a normal envelope would be. So I can just slide little bits and pieces in here if I need to put receipts or whatever the case may be. I can put that in there, or little die cuts, things I need to decorate the planner part of this or the December daily. So I have set this up so that it can be used as a December daily and a holiday planner. This is also a pocket back here. Just wanted to point that out. So there's October, November, and December in here. This is what the inside cover looks like. This is a pocket. I just stuck this little piece of washi tape in there. And then this can be an index or whatever. It can be whatever. And then we get to our first monthly. The monthlies have tabs at the top. So there's November. Here is December. I left pages in between to do the weeks. And today we're going to do the setup for the month of October. If I can find October, I need to put the month names on the tabs, I think. So we're going to work on this. I've pulled out a variety of different things to work with and just to see what we can come up with. But before we get into that, I do want to go ahead and put these two pieces of vellum down. They've been floating around and I don't want anything to happen to them. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Now this is divided into sections. So this first section here is for the planner part of it, the months and the weeks. Then this next section is for lists. So for holiday lists, checklists, gift lists, wish lists, cards, etc. Then the next section, which is back here, will be the start of December daily. And that can be done in any way. So it can just be journaling. It can be journal spreads and layouts and collages, all sorts of things. So I think I'm going to put the black and white buffalo plaid back here at the beginning of that. And then the countdown, I think I'm going to put here. And what I'm going to do is, actually, this is for a smaller size. It was a extra print or a misprint. I printed it on the wrong vellum, last year or the year before. So I'm just going to use it at that size. So it's 4 by 8. I don't know what that was for, but anywho, I'm going to trim it down, and I'm just going to use, I don't know how I'm going to put it in. Now that I'm doing that, I'm thinking maybe I should put something behind it. I don't know. Or maybe I should just tip it in to the fold. Oops. I messed that up already. Let's try and get this straight. Okay. And if you hear noise in the background, the washing machine is going. But I decided not to wait because the dryer will be going next. And I wanted to go ahead and work on this because I kind of been waiting to work on it. Okay. And I might just do this like a little flip or something. I don't know. Okay. So maybe that was supposed to be, I got a feeling it was supposed to be for a standard rings, which was a special size that Miss Six Little Gifts used to offer. They have a new name now, but anywho, okay. So I may end up layering this up with something. I'm going to hold off on putting this down. Let's see, I'm gonna put a little sticky note here and say Christmas countdown here. And then I'm going to stick this in the front pocket and come back to it. At least now that it's in the pocket, it's safe inside and it won't get damaged. Now let's go ahead and deal with this. I've already marked where I need to cut. Just making sure I can see my lines. And I marked it on the back. Now this one I'm just going to tip in like a page. So, all right, where's that line? Let's see, I think I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to go ahead and tip it in. And then once it's in, I'll round the corners. And I'm going to use the 1/8 inch tape. This is the one. So I'm going to use that. Make sure we're on the right side. It's kind of tough figuring out the front and back on this, but I got it. Now let's put the tape down. And you don't have to use tape for this. I have this 1/8 inch tape, so I kind of want to get it used up because I have quite a bit of it. Let's put this up out of the way. And I want to burnish that down really well because sometimes tape does not stick really well to vellum. All right, did I cut that well? It's pretty well cut. I'm not gonna sweat it. All right, let's get it started. So I'm just peeling a little bit off just to help get it started. Maybe I want to turn it this way so I can see a little better what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of lining that up in the spine area. Make sure that piece, I need this to come out this way. So I'm bending the tape, backing out towards me. Okay, let's get this lined up. Okay, I'm going to hold a few pages up since this paper is so thin, and then press it up against there. And I'm going to keep it like that until I make sure that I have it pretty straight. Line that up as best as I can. It's a little crooked. Maybe I can fix it. All right, then I'm going to use my bone folder to really press that tape down. Make sure that it's secured. It might take a day or so for it to actually adhere. Again, this double-sided tape does not like to stick to vellum. So, and then that's what we got. We got a whole vellum page that we can decorate up. And let's do the corner thing. I'm going to test it on a sticky note to see which corner is the right one. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the good one. Well, it's close. So here we go. And this corner rounder I got from Temu. I do my Temu hauls on my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, and I also post a post on my website, Scrapcraftastic.com, of links to all the items that I purchase. So if you check out one of those videos, there should be a link in the description box that'll take you to my website. I don't think I did it with maybe the first one or two, but since I've been posting all the links on my website. Okay, so I think that turned out pretty nice. Let's see if we can get back to it. Yes, that's nice. Okay, so that begins December daily. That's done. Now let's work on October. And now that I think of it, I probably should have did something that was kind of Christmassy with more of a Halloween feel, but I didn't think of it. So the first thing I want to do is white out the 31. And I'm going to use this old book from the Happy Planner called Dates and Holidays. And I want to get one of these spare 31s that I have in here for some of the months. I do have a gold Halloween. Because I was thinking of changing my days of the week to something else. But I don't know. Okay. So yeah, I have spare 31s from using these on months that only had 30 days. Set. Let's take this one and put that down. For Halloween. So we're done with that. Then I've also pulled out a few other things. So this is a doll from COCO'S Vision. I do have a discount code for them. The code and the link will be in the description box below. This one is called Favor Ain't Fair, but I think her color scheme and look go perfectly for what I want to do. I have this stencil. I'm trying to keep my scrap papers out of the way. I have this stencil that I got from Temu on a recent haul, and I'm thinking maybe I can use that with the bats. I have the rub-ons from the Dollar Tree that I recently hauled. Okay, and so let me let you get a good look at those. And these, again, are an example of something that I've mentioned before. These graphics I recognize from a seller that I have worked with. These are available to purchase commercially. So I guess Dollar Tree or whoever, Greenbrier International, purchased the commercial license and they're doing rub-ons with it. I have the printable version of these. Then there's this one from Crafter's Square. It's a little more spooky, but I think I can use a few items from here. But this is my main option, I think. And her jacket looks a little more red than orange, but I think it will all blend in the end. This is another stamp set that I picked up from Temu. It has spider webs. It's got the cluster of bats, little jack-o'-lantern, a mummy, another spider web. It says trick or treat, happy Halloween. I'm here for the candy. So I figured I could use that in some way. Then I also have this, and I already have one of the stamps on the block because I was testing my ink. But this is one that I've had in my stash for a while, and I pretty much use it every year because I love these little bottles. So it has the potion bottles, apothecary bottles, this pumpkin, skull and crossbones, boo, a little swirly, and caution. So I'm thinking, I don't know how the stamping is going to go, but maybe I better start with the stamping and then work my way out from there. So I was thinking I would put, I'm going to white out October 2023, and I may end up whiting out the days of the week. And I know I used to think, well, what was the purpose of even starting with a calendar or a monthly calendar or a weekly if you're going to white out everything? So that was kind of how I started doing from scratch spreads, because I felt like, well, if I'm going to white out everything, I might as well just start with a blank page and make it what I want it to be. In this case, I feel like I like having the guide there. So, yeah, I think I may just leave the days of the week. I think they're okay because I don't have anything specific that I want to cover them with. So we're going to stick with it like that. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I have my Halloween washi here. And I know I have some more. I think I put some of it in my Christmas by accident. Did I do that? Yes. So these are my Simply Gildeds. I went through Simply Gilded this morning and pulled out my Simply Gilded Halloween washi. And I accidentally stuck it in with Christmas. I think that was everything. Okay, so my little Halloween collection of washi is a little bit pitiful, I think. I don't have much. This was one of my favorites. But anywho, okay, so let's get into this. These are inserts from August that I printed and didn't use. So I'm going to use that to protect the other pages. And stick this back here. Okay. Then I already pulled the spider web off. I think it's too big for this block, but I finally got myself a bigger block. Now I need to get a long skinny one. Let's see. I want it to go. One more thing, I keep forgetting to show. These are my Halloween stickers, the small stickers. I do have a bigger book. So I may be pulling a few bits and pieces from here as well. Okay, I probably won't use any of the kits, but some of the icons maybe. All right, let's make some room. Let's bring this over here. I'm just checking to see how cushiony this is. So I tested out my archival ink. It's jet black by Ranger. I'm going to use this. And I think I better test stamp this just to be sure. This is where I was test stamping the other stamp earlier. And my drawings for the coffin composition notebook. If you didn't catch that video, check it out. Got a little spot right there that's not stamping. I'm gonna get my foam piece just in case, and I'm gonna stick that up under here too, just in case. Let's ink this up again. And I shouldn't be inking on top of my book, but I don't have a whole lot of space here. So I want you to see what I'm doing. And I'm really clumsy with this. I'm not an expert. I'm sure I do things wrong, but I do my best. And at least I try. Okay. I'm going to try and get as close to the edge as I can. Hopefully my head wasn't in there. And press that down really well. I have that stamp thing that looks like an air hockey thingy, but it's out of my reach right now. So, that came out pretty nice, right? Now I wonder if I can do it the other way over here, or would that be too much? Let's just do it. Let's be too much, like Peter Mon used to say. Be too much. If you watch Peter Mon, put a blue heart in the comments. Let me know. All right, let's put the foam over here now. I think I need to move the washi. Let's make room, make room, make room. Oh, I shouldn't have did it that way. You know why? These little web pieces go the other way. Uh-oh. Messed that up, but we can maybe cover it with some bats or something. Or white it out. I didn't even notice that. Okay. This still looks cool though, right? Then I want to use this one. Let's use this one here. It's pretty good. Let's see if we can do a little something about these. I'm just using a white jelly roll. It's probably not going to cover it up that much. Looks like it's still bleeding through. So I'm just going to hit it with a little white out. And then a little more jelly roll. Okay, that's a little bit better. What do we think? Getting there? Now, do I want to make the bats go up the page? Where do I want to put the doll? And I may not need the stencil. So much to choose from. And then the washi tape. I think I want to put this right in here. Or should I put it down at the bottom? Because the apothecary bottles can go here. I put her down here. Put this here and here. Let's start over here. I think I'm going to put it in the box. And then maybe I can come back over it with a black washi or something to give it a little more definition. But if I do this, what's going to go down here? I guess nothing has to go down there. It'll be fine. All right, so that's that. I guess I won't use the haunted house washi. I'll save that for one of my other planner spreads. So I think we're done with the washi. Or maybe we're not done with the washi. I'm thinking I can use the orange drip washi that I have from Cookie Sticker Co. And maybe something in black. Bats. Okay. I knew I had some more. And I think I have white bats and purple bats, but I think the black bats will work. Okay, let me grab my other orange washi from Cookie Sticker Co. too. It's just really fun to pull all those little bits and pieces that you can't use the rest of the year together to use for special occasions. Okay, let's go ahead and put down the bat washi. I'm going to run that along the top edge of this Halloween, Happy Halloween washi. Then, let's see, maybe we can put the drip underneath. Is that too much to put the drip? I'm going to hold off on the drip. I want to use the drip though. Let's hold off and put her down next. So, and I may be able to go over her jacket with a little orange, but I don't think it's going to matter that much. So that sheet is down. I want to get her right on that edge. Okay, now let's do the apothecary stamps. So we still got our foam under here. So it's 3 bottles. Okay, so there's one down. And here we go. I was out of frame, but I'm just showing you adding the ink to the stamp. And then we're going to put it down. Ooh, that came out nice. Okay. I was really holding my breath the whole time, hoping it would do well. Okay. Let's see. Can we do caution down the side here? Just to add a little something over there. Maybe I could do caution all the way around the edge, huh? Do I want it to go in or out? Now it is bleeding through. I didn't think of that. What I'll just have to do is whenever I do this side, I'll have to use some type of washi over there or something to cover that. I'm not going to sweat it because this is for fun. I probably should have used my chalk ink. I didn't even think of it. So if you're stamping on the actual composition notebook paper and there's no nothing behind it, you might want to use an ink that's not going to bleed through. So don't do like me. Make sure you test your ink before you just start stamping. Now this side, it won't matter because this is already backed with washi tape and scrapbook paper. And I stamped that one crooked, but it's fine. All right, stamp that off. Then the only other thing I wanted to do was the bats. Now I don't know if I should do all of these bats like this, because I'm thinking they can go right there. And then maybe I can put a few single bats somewhere else, and then I won't use the stencil. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. How did I get ink right there? Did it come off of the block? I do need to wash the block. Let's just use this here. Like that. I'm done with the small block. We need the big block. I think it looks pretty decent. Let's put the foam down. Ink it up again. I know this is a horrible way to hold a block, but this one isn't as thick as my other ones, and I have a hard time getting a good grip on the sides. I got ink up there. It's probably gonna smudge. Hopefully it won't get on the paper. Ooh, okay. That was a good stamp, I think. Let's see. I do love the color. I love the look. Maybe we better save the drip for the weeklies. Do we want to put caution down here too? Because what may happen is I may end up having to use some scrapbook paper or something to go around the edges of that. That's not a big deal. Let me test out my chalk ink with the caution. I know one of these is dried up, and I can't remember which one. I thought I marked it, but apparently I didn't. So let's check it. Ink up the stamp. Is this the juicy one or is this the bad one? That's the bad one. I guess I should toss it. I just feel bad throwing away an ink pad. That way I won't have to test and figure it out. I'll know which one is the good one. There we go. Okay. So instead of washi down at the bottom, I'm just going to do caution. All right, I think that is good for that. So we're not going to use the stencil because the stamp worked great. Let's clean up a little bit. Okay, so this is where we are so far. Let's just get everything in frame. This is the look. This is the look. All right, so what else can we add? Because I just want it to be a little everything. I think I'm going to use this little jack-o'-lanterns to bring in some more orange, maybe a raven or two, and absolutely a spider. So let's get to it. These are rub-ons. I demonstrated them recently. I'll link to that video in the iCard so you can go check it out. But I'm surprised that a few people were saying they were a little afraid to use theirs. These are great, so don't be afraid to use them. Go for it. It's just a little different from stickers. It takes a little more effort, a little more work, but I think it's totally worth it. They're also really, really thin. They don't add bulk. So you can go nuts with the with the rub-ons and just do it up big. Decorate and decorate and decorate. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to put this little jack-o'-lantern right here. I'm just using my bone folder. You could use the back of your scissors, your handle. I also mentioned using maybe the handle of a butter knife, something like that. You just need to make sure you rub it really well. With the Dollar Tree rub-ons, I can't tell when it has actually adhered to the paper. So I just try to make sure I really rub well. And you do cut them out, cut out the piece that you want to use. Leave it on the backing until you're ready to put it on your paper. So I'm going to put him kind of in the margin too. And when you peel it up, just peel up carefully. Try not to flick it off. I did that in a previous video. Just make sure everything is down. Ta-da! Really cute. Okay. I like that. So I think these bats are a little too over the top for this. Not over the top, but too detailed. I like just the silhouette look. So that's why I said the ravens. I think they complement that silhouette look of the bats. And also we got to add some spiders because we got webs. We need spiders. And I don't like spiders, but this is for the month of Halloween. So we're going to add, oh, I like the little dots too. Those will be good to cover up my little mistakes. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to take this raven, a small one. And this big one up here, and maybe one of these spiders and this little set of dots right here. So do I want to put him here with the dots? And then the little guy underneath him? Or should I do a reverse? It makes the little guy look like he's further away. The whole idea was to cover up my smudge, but... And then he can go here. Let's put him there now. I'm going to open this planner, this composition notebook, and scare myself and think there's a spider on the paper. I know it's going to happen. I made a little plastic spider planner clip several years ago. I still have it. And exactly what I just said happened. When I opened that planner and saw that clip, I had a mild attack of panic because I thought it was a real spider. So I was like, oh, I knew that was going to happen though. Okay, so that one is good. Where did that paper just fly to? I think I'll do the dots separately. Let's get the big raven going. And I do like this, pretty easy since you have to cut these out anyway to use them, or it's best to cut them out to use them. I do like that you can kind of position them on the page to see where you want to place them. See if your idea is going to work out before you have to commit. And you can write on these, maybe not in the black ravens, but you could probably write on it with some type of jelly roll pen. Let's just do the dots. Yeah, gotta take the backing off first. Did he stick there? Please. You have to be careful. I took the backing off of him and I thought he was stuck, but he wasn't. Oh, it came off onto the desk. Oh well. There was a dot in the middle there. And when it fell off, the backing came off and it stuck to my desk. Let's try again. These come off so easily. Wow. One more. One or two more. Let's use this spider web. I'm gonna put him on there. Since it's a little smudge there, yeah, I think he'll go great right there on the tab. Might need to put something underneath there. Where's my phone? Cool. Does it show up on the outside? It shows up a little bit. It's fine. Okay, so what do we think? I think it looks really nice. Now, the only other thing I considered doing was inking the edges a little bit. Because I need to use the chalk ink to do this. Ooh, that was too much. Ooh, no. Oh well. I should have tested that first. Yikes. Gonna be real grungy. I think that's good. So this is the only area I kind of blew it, but it's grungy, so I think it's okay. Right? Okay. I wasn't expecting it to be that juicy. So that is what we are working with. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's nice and spooky, even though it's all in a Christmas look. Altered composition notebook. I think it turned out great. And I can just go and fill in what I need to fill in for the month as it relates to things that I want to do for the holidays. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's move on to at least the first week. And I considered printing an insert and tipping it in kind of like I did here. Because the paper is so thin and I didn't glue pages together and I didn't allow for pages to be glued together. But I'm wondering if I can overcome that, because I can do a washi border with this washi. Just go down the side. That will cover up most of the issue. I just need something behind here to give me a contrast so I can make sure I'm lining the tape up with the right white page. So I'm going to do it without an insert this time. That's not saying that on future weeks I won't add an insert in, but for here I'm just going to do it without an insert and just use washi tape. So that's there. Then, do I want to use this or should I use the bats? I think I'm going to use this. I might use the bats during the week. Maybe. And I didn't do a great job at putting that down. But yeah, This is just showing a way that you can kind of cover up mistakes. There's always a way around stuff, so don't panic. So yeah, that is one benefit of tipping in the paper. It does make for a sturdier page. You don't have to worry about bleed as much. If you want to glue all your pages together, you can do that. I just don't, we talked about this. I don't like the wrinkled up paper. It's not so bad if you're going to cover the paper anyway, but if you're going to cover the paper anyway, then what's the point of gluing it together? I mean, I had to do it for reasons. I didn't put that tape down really well at all. Let's try and do a better job on this side. But I really would prefer not to. This is old tape too. This is Scotch brand, but it's pretty old. Let's see if I can do a better job. Yeah, that's better. And then we want the gold on the outside, like so. And I'm gonna do a horizontal spread for this first week of October. So I only intended to do a monthly, but you guys are getting a monthly and a weekly because I couldn't stop. I couldn't pass it up. Okay. Probably should get my little bitty scissors for this. All right. Now don't do like I did and pull your washi tape tight. It'll make the page curl. I was pulling it tight because I was trying to make sure it was straight. So that's somewhat of a base of our page. It covered up the bulk of the bleed through. So in one of the previous videos, I had already marked where I wanted to divide the page. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of 6 lines each. This is a wide rule composition notebook. And then you have room at the top, but you won't have a bottom border. I could probably have done 5 lines each, and that would have given me a bottom border. You may try that too. So I'm going to, instead of drawing lines this time, I'm going to use washi tape for that as well. So I'm just going to run the washi tape all the way across. If I can, I'm trying to center it on the line. Maybe I shouldn't run it all the way across, but I'm kind of lazy now. So if it works, I'm going to do it. If I can make it work. I think I should put a piece at the bottom. We got our grid for our days of the week. So we got room for notes, and I could have left that blank. I might take that off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So no split weekend. You have a full weekend. So that's a little tip. If you want a full weekend and you're doing a horizontal spread and you're creating your own spread, make sure you put 4 spots, 4 rows on the pages, on each page, if you're doing 2 pages. That way you'll have enough for a full weekend. If you just do 3, then you're going to have to split the weekend. I think I like that. Let's see. I can always put it back if I'd like it better with the washi. But I think I'm going to want it open because I'm not going to really be putting anything in the header. So it's probably better to be open. Put that on my wig. All right, so that makes it less confusing. At least I think so. Okay, so I need to put new discs on my dates and scripts. So So yeah, I had to put a rubber band to hold it until I get time to figure out what new discs I want to use, because everything's falling off the discs. I'm going to use these. I didn't really want to use these, but let's go for it. Now previously when I used them, I colored them in with Tombos, but I'm not going to color these in this time. I'm just going to use them as they are. I really made these to be used. Do I want to go down the side? No. I really made them to be used on a black planner spread. Do I want to move it over a little bit in case I use the big numbers? I think so. At least that gives me room to put my number down. I'm going to have to change that. I'm going to put them on this side. Usually I would do that, especially like in the Dollar Tree planner. But for this one, I think I'm going to stay the same on both pages, just so that the numbers will line up the way that I need them to. And it's good to know that I can remove the sticker. I guess we're going to be starting on the 2nd. Let's see if I can find some dates that I can use. All right, I'm just going to do black. Let's go back to the rub-ons. Which one of these houses do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this one because it's got lots of orange. I think I'm going to use a COCO'S Visions doll. She has on black and looks like she's running. And I think that might be cool to have her running away from the little haunted house. Okay, so there is that one. That came out pretty nice. Now let's find that COCO'S Visions doll. There we go. I'm going to use this one, even though she's facing the opposite way of what I would like for her to be facing. I'm going to use her. Should I put her here? No, I'm going to put her over here. Just for a little deco. Let's use one of these notes stickers. These note stickers, notes, goals, work, to do, next week, this week, today, are all available to Scrapcraftastic patrons. And I'm going to use that here. Or up here. And is there anything in here that I can use? Let's use a couple of these bats. I think these are good. Do I want to use some of the candy corn that everybody hates except me? Because I think it's yummy. I already had some this year. And just the little orange candies. Oops. I don't like that there. I don't think I like the way it looks, but I'm going to leave it because I already put it. So. Yeah, we're going to do a kit for the next spread. So I wish I had something that I could put up at the very top, but I don't really want to repeat washi, and I don't have a whole lot of washi that will work for this. Maybe I could put a little of this jack-o'-lantern washi. This is some washi tape that I picked up at Dollar Tree years ago. This spread is kind of gaudy, but it'll do. This is that Dollar Tree washi tape that I'm not really a fan of. I don't know, it's a weird texture, but it works. It's just not my favorite. Let's tear it off and do one of those banner things. Let's go down a little further with that. Hopefully that'll stick. All right, let's smooth everything down. Make sure it's stuck. All right, so that is our first weekly, just kind of winging it off the cuff, using what I already had available. It's a little gaudy. It kind of gives me throwback vibes of how I used to do my spreads. But I kind of just used what I had on hand, kind of spur of the moment, because like I said, I hadn't really planned to do the weekly yet. We'll do some more subtle things later on, but this is the monthly. This insert had already been added in. I used stamps that I got from Temu, some that I already had in my stash, washi tape that I had in my stash, and some from Simply Gilded. The doll is from COCO'S Vision. I do have a discount. These inserts are available to Scrapcraftastic patron elites, by the way. The doll is from COCO'S Vision, and I do have a discount code for them. The link and the code will be in the description box below. I also have a special discount code for Simply Gilded. It will be in the description box below as well. The rub-ons are from Dollar Tree. Here again, the rub-ons from Dollar Tree. The pumpkin washi is from Dollar Tree. I think I got the stripe washi from Target years ago, and the bat washi, of course, is Simply Gilded. The numbers and days of the week and the script are available to Scrapcraftastic patrons. This doll is from COCO'S Vision, and of course the rub-ons again are from Dollar Tree. So this is kind of, like I said, giving me throwback vibes of how I used to do spreads. Let me know what you think about these two spreads. If you want to see anything in particular for the next few weeks of October, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can accommodate that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and share the video. Again, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. You may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.